the God's here, Fredger, back with another video. I'm about to be watching some FNCS. Hope you enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what you think about this FNCS. It will be good. Now let's get this video started. Let's see if it's gonna work. Chat. Alright. I'm gonna go turn it up, man. I need to be careful.
Right now, if you start developing this story, do keep that in mind. Anything can happen, Zeke.
Alright, now you guys can see.
I'm nervous, Monster. You know, we still have Pollo, who's looming. If he were to suddenly jump up into that top three, then we're looking at
I'm sorry, I'm in the
top
way.
5 finish. That would be enough to qualify a trio through the Global Championship. Anything can happen. We have 6 games to figure out how it all goes. Now, yesterday we kind of wanted to discuss high ground versus low ground, right, Kelly? Where these trios are winning from. You actually have pulled some stats, some numbers for us. You know how much we love the stats, so break it down for us.
Well, yeah, let's take a quick look for games 1 through 6 yesterday, where exactly our winning team was coming from. And as you can see, 4 out of the 6 games come from high ground. And Zeke, quick question, game stream 5, a team won from low ground. Which team was it?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Turtle.
Good answer. It was Clicks, everyone. But
let's go.
1 and 2, we have the high ground wins from all the way from Zone 8. And Vivid, something that we've always talked about is how rare it is really to win from Zone 8.
Yeah, I mean, crazy stuff. That's something that me and Kelly used to talk about all the time. Like, oh gosh, they're going up for high ground Zone 8. They're not going to be able to hold it. But no, a couple of teams were actually able to pull it off yesterday. And I mean, Kelly, who else but Booga?
Of course, it's Booga, and something that actually occurred in all 6 games was the team to first go for height in 8th zone was done in the exact same way. So when Zone 8 pops, all these trios are kind of around the edge, but whoever is closest to that zone that moves immediately establishes a tower to establish height for the rest of the game. So here we have it, Zone 8 pops, Rapid, Booga, and Threats immediately build a tower up and then they ramp. But the reason that they were able to control high ground for all 4 zones is what you can see right here. Rapid all the way in the back, paying attention to anyone that is trying to potentially steal height away, like Acorn that you can see there. And Booga establishing these connections throughout high ground so that no one is able to chop them. And from there, between their positioning and just kind of how relaxed and passive this high ground control was, they were able to go all the way from Zone 8 to Zone 12 and win the game.
Yeah, I mean, it was an incredible game for them. I'm not going to lie though, right? This being game 1, I was like, oh man, like, this is how high ground's going to play out for all 12 of these games. Nobody's going to kind of look up, but I think that changed pretty quickly, Kelly.
Yeah, game number 2, a similar story happened. Peterbot's team gets the favorable pull in Zone 8. They establish a tower. However, a little different than Booga's game is that we actually had someone try to contest height. And usually a height steal, you know, can be coming from people being chopped or going on the aggressive. I rarely see a trio just ego another team for height. But if you're egoing the ego master, Peterbot, you are going to lose at every single time. Peterbot was able to push Braid's trio away. And actually, Peterbot just kind of switched on right there, goes on the aggressive, stays in Storm to get eliminations, and actually goes down. But when it's this trio right here, Ritual and Cold from Zone 10, able to hold height as a duo all the way until the end.
Yeah, I mean, that was an incredible clutch win from that duo in the end there. I mean, talk about clutches. That trio was clutching all day yesterday.
That's what I want to see more of, right? I want to see more clutches today. Again, Way of Champions, 3 spots to globals, prize money, even just going up a single placement is enough to earn life-changing amounts of money. With 30 seconds left to go before we jump in, how are you guys feeling? Where are your vibes at right now?
I'm feeling great. I'm excited. There was some drama going on in social media between Clicks and Peterbot, and I am here for it. I want more.
Hype in the competition of even more. I'm here for a day 2 awesome ending between those top 2 teams, but I also want to see Acorn Trio make a resurgence. I feel like we're going to be seeing them more on the higher ground. I don't know, it's just like a vivid prediction. No real reason.
Okay. I'm here for obviously some Fortnite, some memes, and leaving Kelly hanging like she left me hanging yesterday. So next time, don't put me on the spot, Kelly. Bing Bang Bosh, I know who won those games, but I gotta be Zeke about it. Okay, anyway, it's that time. We gotta find our seats on the battle bus. How will Game 7 kick off? Will it be a bang? Will it be anticlimactic? Will Peterbot push someone else? Let's find out together. Casters, take it away.
Gotta love Zeke's energy. You can see he's drinking from the gold fountain behind us. He's having a great time on the front desk, of course. Jacob, 4th through 1st place had near perfect games yesterday. Are we going to see it happen once again?
I think it's almost going to be impossible to think anybody today, with how grueling, how destructive yesterday was, to think they are going to play perfect. Because even our top 2 teams had a couple of speed bumps in their road. And those point gaps, you're talking about 50 points out of the top 4, another 50 points from the top 7, another 50 points to the top 11. It's going to take you as a trio to have a phenomenal performance today. And at the same time, you might hope for a couple of mistakes happening on your opponents.
Well, it sounds like the battle bus is ready. Let's go ahead and jump on for game number 7.
Here it goes.
This is it, Monster. The first game of day 2. And this is where I would like to say the tournament almost really begins. We know there's a 40-plus point gap between 1st and 2nd, but a 65 points for victory route, 4 points per elimination. All you need to do is keep things close and find a way to get elimination, because that's what's really separating the top 2 and the rest of the pack.
And it's a 2-day format, no multiplier like there once was in the past. Who has hit the drawing board? Who's going to come in with those fresh strategies, that new mentality, and really step up today to solidify, essentially, your placement to the Global Championship? I would say that is what is truly on the line here. Put the money aside, right? Money can be earned any day of the week, but this Global Championship spot is so prestigious. And more importantly, will you be the champion of Major 2? Well, Game 7's here. It looks like Bryce, G-Monster, and Osen are continuing the action from yesterday. Once again here at the drop spot as we start to highlight who's changing what. Seems like this team is sticking to the old trusty.
Yeah, I think, with the way Surge has been playing and controlling a lot of the lobbies, they kind of started off game number 1 yesterday at a contested fight, back and forth, 1-1. Game 3 happened. That's when they started to disengage. But as you know, you need Storm Surge. You need damage. So they're probably changing their game plan just a little bit. Confidence in their self after being able to VOD review after day number 1 was over. And now they're coming out with a huge vengeance and getting some early Surge right out of the gates. But another contested fight. Kappa Factory, Dash, Seek, and Veer are going to go ahead and try to contest this. On the other side, Silip, Jardu, and King. And Silip, Jardu, and King, that was a team that we watched through the group stages, qualified through consistently dominating those games, making end games time and time again, and then picking up a good number of eliminations to secure that spot.
I love how all the things Seek could have did yesterday to prepare for today, one of the few was change his name to Barbecue Chicken. This will never ever pass me by. I don't get it. But here they are, contested at the Kappa Factory. And think about it. Before they even touched down, the team was already eliminated. It really shows you the influence of the battle bus and how quickly the landscape is starting to take form here. Jumping on over to the other side, we get the Peterbot Ritual cold update, and it seems like they're continuing the action here, really making sure that the team in 1st place is going to be hearing them here shortly. But first, it's action at the Crime City right now. We all know this is one of the better drop spots, of course. Peterbot has seemed to continue to fight for the best for years now. And rightfully so, he's earned it.
Yeah, one of the very mechanically skilled players in 1v1s, and that was something that we noticed yesterday. Even though he made that sneak play in the decision, he did it all by himself. Even when Clix and Yamza were able to kind of converge over and try to get the help to Higgs, instead of taking a 3v1 or a 3v2, they chose to try to disengage. They didn't have the full setup that they wanted. We're trying to cause them to lose the fight and play the rest of that game out on the back foot. But no real changes this time around, sticking to their strategy, building multiple Surge bases outside of Lone Wolf Flare. I just think this time around Higgs is going to have his eyes peeled for that porta potty, so no sneaky plays can happen.
Nothing just yet. But you know what? I think that Game 6 yesterday was actually a wake-up call for this team, right? Not to let their guard down, and they're going to remain on high alert now moving forwards. And they really have to, right? Kind of just shows them that, hey, that quickly, your entire tournament can be flipped upside down.
It almost makes you wonder, because one of the things a lot of players notice, if you have that signature outfit on, whether if it's with a black bling or not, the pickaxe, that's one thing I want to see. Maybe you have to switch it up every single game so nobody can kind of target and download which outfit you actually are. You can have a little bit more escape plans going at it, if that's the case, especially with third parties starting to come in. Let's jump on board Fuse, Maniac, and the Tick. Just outside of Magic Monsters already. There's a lot of teams now, I feel like, thinking this is where we need to position early due to at least 5 zones yesterday going to the north side.
Definitely, those zones playing a huge factor. No one in the community is letting it down. As we've seen all the theories start to float about, but the truth is, I did come across that one post where folks ran the simulations. It's so unlikely for you to see those same types of zones pulled to the similar area. So today, it's a new day. We're coming in with a fresh look. So a quick little update there, Peterbot's elimination. Those are going to be some important damage tags, as we all know. Usually the first game of the day is going to be the slowest one, the most surge heavy, right? The one where teams are being arguably the most passive.
For the most part, 90 players still left alive, 31 teams, even with a couple eliminations going down in the moments. You see it going right back up to 90. Reboots are going off, and that's what I would expect. Even with Peterbot taking down a Minish there not too long ago, you expect him with the uncontested drop of Foxy Floodgates to get back into the game, and that's kind of the nature of it all. Slow and steady at the start, try to minimize the amount of mistakes, and you just got to hope for a team like that going down, being forced to reboot, having to reaccumulate some of that surge doesn't turn to bite him at the end of the day as we jump on board Greek, Cooper, Curly, taking full control over Flooded Frogs, trying to spread out. But this time around, it does look like the zone is already moving a little bit to the east outside of their POI.
Yeah, not a bad start for them so far. They're sticking to the game plan here. But Reed, Curly, and Cooper really one of the surprise performers coming up out of nowhere, really showcasing the preparation and the team cohesion that's come together for this trio here. Look at Reed getting active right now, but leaves a wall open and almost gets sent right back to the lobby. That reaction time now to go ahead and buy himself some time. Still trying to see now where those shots come from. Can he fish them out? Cyrus just kind of lurking about. Here's what it's looking like from Muzz's perspective. Yamzo and Hayes got sight lines onto him as well.
A lot of extra loot they can kind of relay outside of Shiny Shafts. You kind of see the mountain that they already built their surge base on top of, so they got natural elevation plus their built elevation. They get a wide view of the land, which is going to be needed now, not only for the surge that they were trying to accumulate monster, but now you see the zone pulling further and further away towards the eastern side, so at least they're going to be able to get a lay of the land, the information of where teams are currently at, boxed up, and possibly rotating too, so that way they can try to have a smoother rotation and not running to too many players early on.
Boxing people up. Let's see what's going to happen here. King's making the push in to catch one off guard. However, no big openers just yet. I like how they defensively get together. Goal splashes come down. They have the advantage now. Let's see how King's trio ends up utilizing it. From Seek's perspective, trusting to keep the distance here. Both sides on goal splash effect. Scratch that.
Ooh, I like that decision right there. You see Seek making sure to destroy the scanner, trying to give less and less information. That would have been a good tool in their arsenal, being able to know where they're at. Dash being forced down to the low ground. This is a chance right now. You see him sneaking around, landing some shots on the King, making sure that he knows there's no shields on that player. It could be a chance to go if you guys got the opportunity. But he backtracked into Silic, who's trying to hold defensive position and maybe even inside of the cone to sneak up onto Veer if he doesn't expect him. And now he has a chance, and he boxes up Chicken. Back-to-back shots coming out from Silic. Seek goes down. Now he leaves his trio in a 3v2 situation as the elimination fully gets cleaned up.
I got to give a lot of respect to that one. I was going to make the call a little early. They clearly have the disadvantage with the overall loot, but you are the man up now. Talk about a game changer here. However, Dash not looking to let it up just yet. He's going to trade one off as well. 2v2 fight going on here. Both sides, all sides hurt. Jargu's only the healthiest one here in the battle. However, loses, unfortunately, his positioning there, his footing for a second. Now they're forced to low ground. To be able to pick up their teammate. Seek, though, completely finished off.
Uh-oh. Neither one of them really able to farm up because these are teams contesting each other. Now Jargu's almost out of build. Some get past the last second, and they're able to run past, take out Dash, keep it in their favor, and Veer falls as well. And that's a full wipe right there. And that was one that I thought was going to go the other way, but you got to give Silic the credit for getting that opened up elimination.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where you look back and you say, man, we shouldn't have won that fight. They had a disadvantage. They got snuck up on. They were pushed out of the Kappa Kappa. And all of a sudden, Silik with the one big play turns the entire momentum right back around. Well, look, now they have all the time in the world to go ahead and work to reform their way back into this game. Let's see what they can do. That huge performance. Taki Bird and Esho, though. Seen a lot of this team here. Continuing the fight at the Magic Mosses. It's up against Noah Plays Trio.
Right now, it seems like if you look at the bubble for global spots, almost 100 or so points down. Noah Plays is already down as well. Taki, he's trying to get distracted down below. Isho uses that to his advantage, able to jump on to Chaos Game and get another elimination. Now Kaz is left by himself, but at least for now, Monster, there's a little bit of distance between him and those two opponents still looking around to figure out where he's at.
Yeah, they don't know exactly where he is just yet, and there's another trio moving in extremely quickly. Could that be Peterbot's team? Could that be... Oh, okay, it's Reed, Curly on the way alongside Cooper there. Taki and Eshu now looking to kind of double back, pair up with one another. Shots come in. Sure, wasting no time, letting their presence be known.
Uh-oh. 14 now enters into the mix, probably an additional team coming from Whippy. And see, Monster, it's just outside of Magic Mosses, so a lot of these teams that do land up here, instead of kind of cutting towards the side, beelining it to zone, they could go all the way towards the north. One tick zone damage isn't going to be much, and then they could try to get into where it isn't as congested, maybe above Demon's Dojo, maybe above Pump Power. Those are going to be some of the pivotal spots for any of these teams rotating early. And for Taki, Vert, and Isha, the longer you stay here in this position, you're closing off opportunities, you're closing off options, all for a singular elimination, which might not necessarily mean much. It's only 4 points.
There was Amplify and Shiny Cat there. Take a look at the replay here.
Oh, no.